with all the action right here at TV20, the one and only Paul Schill. He'll come up with who won this fight and why.
Put your hands together for these two outstanding young athletes.
Paul Schill, of course, is waiting to get all the final scores to find out who won the fight. And one man looks a little excited, like he already knows. Isaiah Darden, you see he's got his fists powered in the muscular position, and that's the championship belt that one of these young men will get. Go ahead,
and now,
Paul.
boxing fans, after 3 action-packed rounds, your winner. Fights out of the red corner, Isaiah Darden.
Now, that jubilant excitement that you saw from Isaiah Darden, he's very happy because this is an accomplishment. And the thing that is so remarkable and so wonderful about this is that these young people get to have this on television and their parents get to save it for a lifetime. This is what you look like when you were 10, 9, 8, and when you were fighting on the King of the Rings. And a lot of times we have to remind ourselves, the greatest of all time that we lost, of course, in 2016, Muhammad Ali, got his boxing career started on Stars of Tomorrow in Louisville, Kentucky, a television show featuring amateur boxing. And that's what we're bringing back here to you here in Cleveland, Ohio. Isaiah Darden is your winner. We'll come right back with much more King of the Ring on TV20 because we are Cleveland.
You never know where an emergency vehicle is headed. Heart attacks, strokes, shortness of breath.
Working fires, biohazard contamination, search and rescue.
Robberies in progress, shootings, car accidents.
Oftentimes, drivers are unsure what to do as emergency vehicles approach. When you see and hear sirens and lights, safely pull over to the right and stop. By doing so, this will allow emergency vehicles to safely pass and continue to their emergency.
Driver safety is a responsibility for everyone. Not following the driver safety law for emergency vehicles puts everyone at risk, from emergency personnel, civilian drivers, and people who are awaiting help.
Not only is driver safety the safe thing to do, it's the law. This can carry points on your license and a fine. So let's be safe.
Remember, sirens and lights, move to the right.
Welcome to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, making his way down, Ryan Williams.
Well, as you can see, Ryan Williams is going to be making his way to the ring. That's our next fight of the day. And this is a bad young man. He's ready for you, Ryan Williams. Ready to get into the ring and make his debut to be the next King of the Ring in the 85-pound weight class. There he is, the young man, Ryan Williams. He's ready to do it. And Ryan, we're ready to see you. Now it's time for his opponent. Paul Schill has that.
Making his way to the ring, Abdullah Mason.
And as you can see, Abdullah Mason is making his way to the ring. He's the older brother. This is the 85-pound weight class. Abdullah Mason, the older brother of Abraham Mason. And they both box out of the Cleveland, Ohio Kingdom Fitness Boxing Club. And Ryan Williams, by the way, fights out of the Team Cartel in Toledo, Ohio. Now, of course, when you speak of Toledo, Ohio, a lot of these boxers, their big hero is Robert Easter Jr., one of our world champions, of course, part of About Billions Boxing with Adrian Broner, who, by the way, has a fight in February, which will be on Showtime. He's going to be taking on Adrian Granados, and it's going to be a talented fight. I'm looking forward to that. We're getting ready for round number 1. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Paul Schill. Paul?
And now, boxing fans, our next bout of the evening is in the 85-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He represents Team Cartel from Toledo, Ohio. He is Ryan Williams. And his opponent, representing the Kingdom Fitness Boxing Club, fighting out of the blue corner from Cleveland, Ohio, Abdullah Mason.
So there we have our two fighters. Let's see what it looked like at the weigh-in just before this fight.
Now it's time for the 85-pound weight class, and we've got two talented young men who are definitely going for a grudge match because they say they don't like each other, but when it comes to the King of the Ring, someone's going to be crowned, of course, right here on TV 20 because we are Cleveland. Let's bring forward our very first individual, Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams comes in dressed in the all red, the red and white, and of course he's brought by classy Michelle, and Michelle's going to put Ryan up on the scale, and we're going to hit him, let's hopefully, Michelle, right at what? 85 pounds. Once again. All right, Ryan, why don't you step off the scale real quick for us? Look into the camera. Let's talk a little bit about this fight. How did you prepare for this upcoming fight, and how excited are you not only to be on Channel 20, to be possibly a King of the Ring?
I'm ready and work hard in June. Yep.
Just ready to get it done?
Yep.
Good enough. Let's give him a round of applause. Ryan Williams. Now he'll be facing Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason, once again, coming in with the black trunks trimmed in gold. Abdullah, we're going to put you on the scale. Ingrid, what do we got there for him? 85 pounds. 85 pounds for him. Come on down and talk to me real quick. Tell everybody out in TV land how ready you are for this fight.
I'm ready.
How ready?
Very ready.
Very ready? Sounds good. You guys go ahead and handshake. All right, we'll see who's going to be the King of the Ring. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it so much.
And once again, Earl Jewell is your referee for this contest. The fighters are ready. It is scheduled for 3 rounds, 85 pounds. It is Mason. Mason in the blue corner. Abdullah Mason, his younger brother just lost, so you know he's fighting for a little revenge. He's taking on Ryan Williams out of Toledo, Ohio. And both of these young men are extremely cat quick. Their reflexes are simply exciting. And Mason is counter-punching extremely well. He's able to take one small step away from Ryan Williams, and he's been able to land some punches, but Ryan Williams comes in immediately with a sweeping left hook right off the jab. There he is again, winging that left hook and punching in bunches. Trying to measure. One thing Mason has to do is stay away from those ropes. The ropes are pretty loose. And that time he got hit with a strong right hand by Williams. Mason that time came back with his own right hand. Pretty even round, and Mason once again with a strong right hand. Abdullah Mason, the older of the Mason brothers, and he wants to get something done. This is a very interesting first round because even though it appeared from the very start that Williams had everything going his way, that young man you see there came on strong at the end of round number 1, Abdullah Mason. And there, of course, is a young man who came out with a strong jab, Ryan Williams of Team Cartel. Let's take a look at round number 1. And as you can see, both fighters are throwing their punches a little wide. But one thing we can say is that he was trying to get that measurement, and even though he was missing, it was part of the aggression early in the round. But later in that round, it was about what Williams was able to not do and what Mason was able to do. Mason in the black trunks. And see, did you see that left hook that time? How Mason was able to get out of the way and land it? That's what he did a lot of toward the end of round number 1. It is the bell for round number 2. It is fast and the furious. These young 85-pounders, all open class, and they are fighting fast. Wow! Strong right hand that time. Mason had to hold on. Ryan Williams was moving fast. Ryan Williams in the red trunks, trimmed in right, another strong left hand. His left hook has been vicious. He knows how to throw it. He knows how to throw it with power. He tried to hit it with the right hand, and Abdullah was able to get out of the way. There is plenty on those punches. But there's a body attack being done by Mason. And in the amateur boxing, body punches are just as impressive as head punches. And that is the bell for the end of round number 2. Both corners have got to be very happy with the production of both fighters. And the instructions are simply going to be this. You're getting ready for the 3rd and final round. be ready and be right. That's the most important aspect of it all. Once again, here's some highlights. Did you see that strong right hand followed by the left? That young man in the red trunks. Not only does he know how to move out of the action after he's delivered a punch, he knows how to get a punch in and get out. Once again, a very strong left lead. And that's what is throwing off the balance of Mason. Excellent camera work by our truck here at TV 20. I'm not saying it because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because it's true, capturing some of the most impressive action of round number 2. Third and final round between these two young men at 85 pounds is the King of the Ring boxing series here on TV 20. I'm Ronnie Duncan, glad to be back in Cleveland once again to be a part of this boxing series number 6. And we've seen some very good amateurs come out of the King of the Ring boxing series, including one that we all know, the Olympian in the 160-pound weight class. And he'll be joining us a little bit later from Cleveland, Ohio. Nice strong right hand, followed up by that left. Strong lead right hand that time, right down the pipe. It may have been a little wild, but it did hit and it did land. It did score that time by Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is in the red. He's been the aggressor most of the night. The counterpuncher has been Mason. And that is the end of this fight. I think this fight is a very tough one to score, depending upon what you like, because even though Mason was on the retreat, he counterpunched extremely well throughout this fight. As you can see, the gloves are being taken off in a spirited 3 rounds of fighting. Let's take a look back. Once again, that left and that right hand right down the pike by Ryan Williams, a young man in the red. And there it is, that right hand, and would always get him off balance. I'm speaking of Abdullah Mason. He was always off balance because of the simple fact of how good things were going. Well, the judges have, of course, a lot of work to do to determine who's going to be the winner of this fight. Coming up next, we got the big boys. I'm talking Hunter Matthews and James Evans, that is. And I'm talking about heavy weights. One weighs 244 pounds. And these are the super heavyweights. But the little fellas done their thing, and their 3 rounds have been over, and now it's a matter of fact, or a matter of time, before all of the scores are tabulated, and we've come up with a winner of this competition. Ryan Williams of Toledo, Ohio, and of course that young man that you just saw there, Abdullah Mason of the Kingdom Fitness Boxing. And both have been doing an outstanding job. Okay, the judges have tabulated their scores, and it's just a matter of time before we know who the winner of this competition is. Let's go to Paul Shield because he's got the particulars. Paul?
Here we are, boxing fans. After 3 action-packed rounds, your winner. Fights out of the red corner, Ryan Williams.
Well, Team Cartel has been doing a job in Cleveland. They're out of Toledo, Ohio. Ryan Williams wins the 85-pound weight class, the King of the Ring, and we're happy for him for all of what he does. We'll come right back with much more of the King of the Ring. We're coming to you from the Firebird Sports Complex in Bedford Heights, Ohio.
Stop. It's illegal to sweep yard debris into a catch basin. It causes water pollution and sewer backup. Instead, use biodegradable bags or redistribute lawn and leaf clippings for fertilizer. If you see someone dumping waste into catch basins, report it immediately. Call 216-664-DUMP. Remember, only rain down the storm drain.
Now it's time for our very next fight, and it's the big boys, but the big boys got on the scale not too long ago. Here's their weigh-in.
Now it's time for the big boys of boxing. We're talking about the super heavyweights. That means these young men are tipping the scale well over 200 pounds, and somebody is going to get hit and hit hard because that's what the heavyweights do. Let's go to our very first heavyweight that we're going to be going with in the super heavyweight division. They say he's dynamite. He says his name is simply James Evans. He's coming in, and he's going to be tipping the scale well over 200 pounds. These are the big boys of boxing. Just step on the scale, and we'll see what we got here for you. Oh my goodness, we've got 217 pounds for the big man. 217 for the big man. James Mason will not be fighting alone. He's got an opponent he is ready to go up with. He is the one, the only Hunter Matthews coming in the black trunks, trimmed in red. Hunter Matthews with the mohawk. He's ready to get on that scale, and let's see. I tell you what, Michelle, he's a big fella, so we got to take it on down. Take that scale on down, Michelle. What we got? We got 226 for big time. 226 for Mr. Hunter. All right, guys, look, we got the big guys together. When we had the little kids, they shook hands. But I want to know, what is it about this man that you're going to expose in the ring?
We'll find out tonight.
We'll find out tonight. You just heard what he said about you. How excited are you not only to be a part of King of the Ring, but more importantly, to be here on TV 20 to get this type of television exposure?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Good enough.
Yeah.
All right, folks, you want to see a stare down of these two guys? I'll just stand in the middle. We've got, of course, James. We've got Hunter. I want to hear you stare down. Let's see. If you can see something in his eyes. I don't think he's afraid of you, Evans. I don't think he's afraid of you, Hunter. I'm going to tell you, Michelle, let's take these guys on out because we can't have a fight before the fight. Go right ahead. Give them a round of applause, both of them.
All right, as you can see, now the big boys of boxing have come into the ring, and get ready because we're ready for a massive explosion. Stepping into the ring is James Evans. If the name James Evans sounds familiar, maybe you're a fan of Good Time. That was JJ's daddy. Well, JJ's daddy ain't fighting today, but I can tell you, James Evans taking on Hunter Matthews. Two guys over 200 pounds, and I'm talking 200 pounds in a big way. I mean, this is massive, and James Evans comes to us out of Toledo, Ohio. Central City Boxing Club, and of course, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Boxing Club, Hunter Matthews. Hunter Matthews is a fun guy. I really enjoyed speaking with him today, and you heard him at the weigh-in. He seemed like somebody who said, you know what? I know it's going to be fun. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Paul Shield, who's standing by to introduce our two fighters and our big guys. Paul, it's all on you because we want to know about the big explosion in the ring between these two guys. As a matter of fact, your ring announcer is the one.
Introducing our next bout of the evening in the super heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner from Pittsburgh Boxing Club, Club 51 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Hunter Matthews. And his opponent fights out of the blue corner, representing the Central City Boxing Club from Toledo, Ohio, James Evans.
Well, there you have it, our two guys, and of course, the man giving the instructions is, of course, Sheriff Pinckney, who is the man who gets it done, and he wants to make sure that everybody at ringside is ready for what he does. As a matter of fact, Pinckney is one of our sheriffs right here in Cuyahoga County, and he knows a thing or two about the law and how you got to pay attention. All right, round number one for the big guys, and Hunter Matthews and James Evans. These are some big guys. Evans, of course, throwing a strong right hand that time. Two of them right there on Hunter Matthews. Evans in the all red. Cleveland, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio. Let me be mistaken to get it right. And of course, Matthews out of Pittsburgh. Matthews is a big boy. He's going for that body. But Evans is so calm and collected. Did you see that shot to the body, to the rib cage? That time a left hook, followed by a right hand to the body. What you have to admire about Evans right now early here in the first round is his poise. Nice body shot that time by Evans with the left hook to the body of Matthews. Evans looks like a tremendous athlete. And the upside for him just on first appearance, and what I'm saying is that this young man has it all together. He's taking his time in there. Such poise in the ring as he moves around. He doesn't exert a lot of energy, but man, does he bring a lot of power. James Evans out of Toledo, Ohio, and the all red taking on the young man, the black, red, and gray. Those Ohio State colors, but he's out of Pittsburgh. Hunter Matthews. Matthews has been trying to counter with a body attack and move forth. But it is quite evident the cool, calm, and collected demeanor. Look at that jab. It snapped the neck back that time of Hunter Matthews by James Evans. Evans is cool. Evans is calm. Evans is collected. He is so poised in there for an amateur boxer. We could be looking at a future star of amateur boxing right here outside of Cleveland, Ohio, and Bedford, Ohio, at the Firebird Sports Complex. Nice crowd on hand for the King of the Ring Boxing Series. Ronnie Duncan at ringside, bringing you all the action blow by blow. I want to say a special hello to my dear partner in crime on these fights, Wilkins Santiago. Unfortunately, Wilkins could not be with us because his father passed away, William Santiago, and his body was flown back to Puerto Rico. Wilkins, we send our very best out to you and your family at this time, the loss of your father. And what is so interesting about that relationship is that Wilkins and his father, and Wilkins, as you know, one of our fine amateurs in Ohio, and of course an established pro with over 13 wins, he was introduced to boxing by his father. He might have been introduced to boxing by his father, but that jab is being reintroduced to Hunter Williams by James Evans, who's been putting his punches together and putting on a show. It has been a clinic. The first round can't come to an end fast enough for Hunter Matthews. 10 seconds left to go here in round number one. And James Evans continues to control this fight in a strong right hand, followed by a left. And James Evans continues to put it on. That is the end of round number one, and a round one that had plenty of explosions for a King of the Ring boxing. That young man right there has taken a beating. And I'm talking about some very strong, deliberate, and short shots from that young man, James Evans out of Toledo, Ohio. Evans, I may not know a lot about him, but he's one of those kind of fighters that the first time you see him, you know how good he is. Look at that shot to the body. First it was a left to the body, followed by a left to the head and an uppercut. And once again, he's mixing it up. 3 jabs in a row, and you see it there in slow motion as we give it back to you in replay here on TV 20, the King of the Ring. We are Cleveland. And this young man from Toledo, Ohio is making a lot of Cleveland fans. My goodness, Central City Boxing Club in Toledo, Ohio, James Evans. A young man who is poised but yet powerful. A young man who is cool, calm, and collected, but yet with a purpose to put you out there and put you in some place you never want to go again. And I can tell you, if anyone knows that, it's Hunter Matthews. Round number 2 of the schedule, 3-round competition of the super heavyweights. Look at that jab that time by Evans. 2 jabs. And he's keeping Hunter Matthews honest on the end of that jab. Matthews tries to check him around, but oh, what a left hook that time. By another left hook, followed by a right hand, and it is evident he is hurt. And I'm talking about Hunter Matthews. He is saying to himself, I want to continue, and that will be up to our referee, Jeff Pinckney. Pinckney looks at him, and he's going to let, I think, the action continue because this young man needs some time to settle down. My goodness, folks, I've got one of the most talented amateurs ever to come out of Cleveland, Ohio, who just sat next to me. Straight right hand that time, and once again, it has been too much. Jeff Pinckney stopped the competition It is all about the young man you see there, James Evans, in the second round. It didn't take long. Going to be joining me in a few minutes for our next fight is Charles Conwell. He's moving to the pros. He's going to be getting in the pay and play ranks, and he's going to go for that middleweight championship of the world. My man Charles, the first time I saw him was right here at King of the Ring. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the second round as this fight came to a stoppage. And one of the reasons why, it was the accurate punching. Look at that left hook that time by James Evans. But he followed up with a straight right hand, and it was on Queer Street for Matthews. Hunter Matthews didn't know where he was, but the gallant young man who was so talented and wanted to continue, he looked at the referee Pinckney and said, I'm okay. He told his corner, don't throw in the towel. But yet, he was there for even more punishment. But it's because of guys like Jeff Pinckney that this fight was stopped, because he's concerned about the safety of the fighter, and that's the most important thing, that you can learn from this lesson and live and fight again. James Evans gets the fight stopped by the referee on contact. Once again, look at these punches. And that's, of course, what Jeff Pinckney did. He stopped the fight at the proper time. That's what it is all about. Well, we know who the king of the ring in the super heavyweight division is. It's the young man out of Toledo, Ohio. It's the one and only James Evans. James Evans was JJ's daddy. Well, JJ's daddy is now dynamite today. Man, did he put the beat down on Hunter Matthews. This is going to be a highlight he's going to want to see for quite some time. We're just trying to get the official time of when this fight was stopped by, of course, our referee and the man in charge. But we're so happy for the safety of Hunter Matthews. Appears to be doing just fine. He was stopped on his feet, but the referee stops the contest. And now all we have to do is get the time and the appropriate time of how it was done by our ring announcer, Paul Shield. There he is, of course. You're taking a look at him, Hunter Matthews out of Pittsburgh. It was a learning lesson, he knows. And of course, James Evans, a young man who has a lot of potential, and the star is on the horizon. Let's go up to Paul Shield for the particulars.
Alrighty, boxing fans, after 2 rounds, the referee has stopped the contest. Your winner, James Evans.
So James Evans gets your championship. We'll talk to one of the former King of the Rings in just a few minutes. And I'm talking about the young man who represented the United States, and he wanted to win the gold medal, but he's turning pro, and we'll talk about that pro career. And our very next fight, we're coming back with the King of the Ring, and standing by at ringside, Charles Conwell. It's all next right here on TV 20. We are Cleveland, the King of the Ring boxing series number 6.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.